All throughout history, disease has claimed billions of lives and decimated entire populations, from the famous Black Death of Europe to the Spanish flu of 1918. Diseases have handicapped, they've disabled, and they've killed so many people in humanity's time on this earth. But today, in the modern world, vaccines and vaccinations have the potential to save millions from unnecessary suffering. That's only if the vaccine's actually taken. Now, I'm firmly in the percentage of the population that despises getting any sort of shot. Ask anyone, I won't lie to you. In my own bloodline, my great-grandmother was quite well known for making her own herbal remedies to ailments, her own natural medications. And my own mother said that she was never sick as a child because of that. But those fought against the more common ailments, not against these deadly diseases that will spread like wildfire in a population that doesn't have a good enough protection system in place. So now I'm not sure about the rest of you, but I personally would not like to get sick over something that could easily have been prevented if someone could have gotten the immunization. I have 2 young brothers that are at a public school right now. The last thing I would want is for them to get sick over something that could easily have been prevented. If they were too young to get the shot yet, but their classmate was, I wouldn't want them to get sick over something because the other classmate didn't get the shot. So today we'll be covering 3 important topics. 1, what the vaccine is supposed to do, what it prevents. 2, what the vaccine is. 3, some very common and powerful misconceptions about vaccines. So, first off, the purpose of the vaccine. The Center for Disease Control states that a vaccine is designed to provide a defense to disease for a body before the body can do it naturally. As you can see from this graphic, on the left-hand side, is it okay? On the left-hand side, that is how your body reacts without the vaccine. It takes some time for the body to react to a pathogen, and the body doesn't react as well. You have a much better chance of actually being sick over it. But with the vaccine, or after initial contact with the pathogen, your body can react faster and stronger than the first time around. And ideally, the vaccine is what would have given you that resistance, not a previous encounter with it. And obviously, the vaccine prevents diseases and viruses and whatnot. For example, the polio vaccine pretty much eradicated polio from the United States, where it was famous for causing paralysis and putting many people into a machine known as the iron lung that would breathe for you, because you no longer had the capacity to do it for yourself. Or another disease that has been eradicated through vaccines in the United States is smallpox, famous through history for causing those pock-like marks all over one's body. Or influenza, the flu. Now, some people may think, it's just the flu, that happens every winter. Not the flu we're talking about. This flu is the Spanish flu of 1918. Stanford University said that it claimed more lives in that short span of time than the Great War did, from 1914 to 1918. And also prevents the vaccine. Its purpose is to prevent sickness from spreading like wildfire, especially in schools. And it's not only for young children to keep them safe from whooping cough, measles, mumps, etc. It also applies to teenage high schoolers from sexually transmitted diseases or ones that can spread like HPV. We've seen those commercials for the HPV vaccine. With the vaccine, it prevents HPV. Prevent HPV could very well prevent cancer. Secondly, what the vaccine actually is. What it is, what is in that syringe when it's injected into you. The vaccine is a mixture that contains either dead or weakened samples of the pathogen you're trying to defend yourself against. So if you're trying to prevent tetanus, it may have a dead sample of tetanus in it. Or mumps, it might have weakened mumps, etc., etc., etc. It does not contain a chemical soup of toxic chemicals and a mixture that's deadly to you. It contains what it needs to be effective. So if there's a chemical in there, it did not get federal okay because it was there. It got the federal check because it was there, it was effective, and it was needed. And third off, what prevents a lot of people from getting these vaccinations are the misconceptions they have over them. Like one, people believe that they could get mercury poisoning from vaccination. However, the mercury used in a vaccination, let's get this straight, there is mercury used in vaccinations, but it's in small amounts, and it's a different type of mercury than what can poison you. So there's 2 points knocking that down. Another misconception, there's the formaldehyde, the embalming agent in the vaccines. Also true, and people think that makes it dangerous. But there's also more formaldehyde flowing in our own veins than there is in that syringe. Or the oh so famous vaccines cause autism, the one that has been kind of made up a laughingstock a little bit, but it's still a misconception. The Center for Disease Control has conducted many studies over this topic. They found nothing to prove that. And it says that another misconception is that diseases that have been eradicated, say in the United States, smallpox and polio, they don't need to be vaccinated against anymore. That may be true for America, but if it's brought in from another country, say you're out traveling, you contract and you come back, you can get it, everyone come in contact can get it, everyone they come in contact can get it, it just spreads. And another one is that natural health, like improvements in health in the past, make vaccines irrelevant. Oh, if you're healthy enough, you won't need the vaccine. Stay healthy, you won't need it. The World Health Organization takes an example. It says, for example, for like measles. Measles have always followed a wave pattern where they would have little surges and drop-offs. So, okay, that's natural. But they also said that after they introduced the measles vaccine, it dropped. The amount of people, it may still fall on a little curve, but the amount of people who contracted the disease, the number dropped significantly. And you can see how through time, there's an infographic. Right here is 1900 diseases, massive circles showing a lot of people contracting disease. For example, that large orange one, measles. Over here, orange, measles. That size difference after that vaccine. Or let's say what? Pertussis? Right there, that purple one? Pertussis? Pertussis. Also vaccinated against, dropped off significantly in 100 years. Or if you want to look at polio, polio's right there, that olive color. Polio's over here, 0. With that vaccination, gone in the United States. And every single one of these circles from 1900 to 2010, they've all dropped off. Sure, you can contribute some of that to better health, but a lot of that drop-off can be attributed, I should say, to the vaccinations made against these diseases. So vaccines, when boiled down, are nearly essential to maintaining the health of a person and a population. So vaccines are essential to a person and a population because it allows for natural defense against infamous diseases such as polio, smallpox, influenza. Vaccines are nothing more than mixtures of vital substances designed to help you, not poison or harm you. And vaccines are surrounded by the misconceptions, ranging from mercury poisoning, which we already talked about, to the infamous claim that vaccines cause autism in children. So in conclusion, in the end, there should not be a debate. Vaccines are essential to our modern lives. Polio was famous for causing paralysis. We had a president who had polio and he was confined to a wheelchair. Smallpox has been famous throughout history for killing millions. The 1918 outbreak of influenza killed millions. For the safety of yourself, your children, and your world, vaccinate yourself and your children.